So in this lab, we'll be seeing on our Azure DevOps organization settings overview. Okay, so what exactly is an organization settings? So I was telling you about when you register your email ID, you will be seeing this as your organization, and if you see, by default this will be your organization which has been created. An organization, consider it as your complete management or your enterprise level, top level of overview. So under this organization you are seeing multiple projects across. Okay, so if you wanted to create a new organization, you can click on this option called new organization creation, and then you can create your new organization, whatever the names you wanted to create it, and by default that organization will be created over here. Okay, now there is an option called as organization settings over here. When you click on this organization settings, it has a lot of other menu options available for this, and whatever the menu options that is available for this will be across all the projects in your organization. It is not only for one project or two projects, it is across all the projects for this particular organization. Now if I don't want to use it, if you see this URL, which is going to be the same URL over here, https://dev.azure.com/subodevosdemo2020. So if I do not want this, and if I wanted to change something else, I can change whatever the name that I wanted to do it, and then I can use that name. Or if I have any of my custom URL domain or any of my own URL domain, I can just give it over here. Okay, so that is one of the options that is available for me to use, either the URL provided by Azure DevOps, or I can give my own URL also over here, and I can change my time zones depending upon wherever I am actually staying in. It depends upon my wish as well, like whatever time zones I am actually staying in, I can use that time zone for me. Okay, and I can just save it across. Okay, now if you see here, there are organization owners, which means only these people are called as your global admins. These people will be able to create a user, delete a user, create a building and other things. Other peoples will not be able to do it. If I wanted to change any owner, I can click on change owner. I can make someone else as a owner as well. That is a change ownership. And if I wanted to delete this complete organization, I can come over here and then I can delete the complete organization if I don't need it. Okay, this is going to be your overview option. The next option is going to be your project options. As you see, these two are the projects that we have imported it from Azure DevOps generator, and this is my own project which I created it for the first time. If you wanted to create a new project, so you can click on this new project option, and then you can choose whichever projects you wanted, whether it's a public project or private project, and then you can create a new project. Okay, and if you wanted to delete any projects, click on that particular projects. Okay, let me show you. I'll just create a new project called demo, and then I'm just clicking on create, and your projects will be created over here. If you see, the demo project is created. Now if I wanted to delete this project, I can just click over here, and then I can rename a project, or I can delete a project. And to delete a project, it will ask you to type the project name. I'm just typing the project name and then clicking on delete. Now my project is deleted. Like this, you can rename a project or you can delete a project. Next is users. This is where a new user should be added to this Azure DevOps. So if you want to add any new users, you can click on add users and then give their email ID. Okay, and then there are three levels of access. One is basic, another one is stakeholder, another one is Visual Studio subscriber. If you're already a Visual Studio enterprise license holder, or if you're a Visual Studio enterprise owner, then you will choose this option. If you're a basic user, then you have to give this. Stakeholder is nothing but someone who is going to be coming as your third-party services, who just needs an access only for certain amount of time. Those are all stakeholders. Okay, and you can add them to a projects that is available in your list. Whichever projects you need it, you can add it, or else you can keep it as a whole so that they will be available for all the projects. Okay, and you can export all the users by clicking over here. It downloads you as an Excel sheet, and then you can send it to your organization manager, whoever is asking for you. And this is going to be the billing section, and this billing section actually tells you how much amount of bill happened for you on monthly basis. If you see, we can set up a billing limits, and then it says 1800 minutes is free for me. So how many hours have I ran it? how many users are free. There are 5 users free, and the test plan is also free. So I can just see what are all the buildings that has happened for me over here, and I can set up this building, and this building will automatically get connected to my Azure cost and billing. So that in Azure, if you remember, we have already added our credit cards. So whatever the billings that is happening over here will in turn get charged to the credit card that my Azure is being connected. I can click my new Azure subscription, and then I can add my Azure sign up over here. So I can connect my billing page to Azure with my credit card automatically. The next is auditing. Auditing is nothing but it tells you what are all the changes that the people have done on the required basis. If you see, I've just created a new project and then I've removed a new project. So all the things that I'm doing it on this particular area will be audited over here. If you want, I can export the logs in a CSV or a JSON file. And this is a notification section. So this is where whatever is happening, you can send a notifications to the people either via email or either via Slack, depending upon whatever happens. Like for example, build complete. So whenever the build is completed, I can just try to send out the email notifications. Okay, and if whenever the code is pushed, I can send out. Whenever the extension is installed, I can send out. Or if I wanted to create something new, then I can even create myself. So this is a global notifications page. And these are all the subscribers list. Since it is an empty page at present, nothing is being subscribed. Okay, so by default now, if you see, it automatically gets notifies to me. And if I don't want anyone to be notified, then I can choose this option as no. So no one will be notified across. And usages. So this is where it will tell you like how much amount of usage I've been using it over here, and what is the count of usages and delays and everything will be shown over here. Extensions is a place is called as your marketplace, and you can actually click on this browse marketplace where you can see list of all the extensions available in Azure DevOps. So whatever I wanted to install, I can just click on here and then I can install. If I choose Docker, then all the Docker related plugins will be available. So I can just click on that, and you need to choose whether it's free or not. If it is free, just click on that and then try to add it, get it free, and automatically you will be able to add it to your organization. So that is how, if you see, this is my organization. So when I click on install, automatically it will be installed over here. So it comes under install section. If I've requested to some of the administrator people, it will be showed over here in requested section. And this is going to be your Azure Active Directory. This is where you are going to connect your Azure DevOps to your Azure Active Directory. I can just click on connect and then I can choose my Azure Active Directory, so that by default all the people who have access to Azure Active Directory can be able to log into Azure DevOps as well. I can do in that way as well. And these are all the security policies that are in place, like third-party applications can be authenticated and security policies are available and user policies are available. I can make whatever the permissions I want. And this is going to be the permissions for this particular organization. So these are all by default collection groups where you can click on each and every one, and you can go to the members list and then you can add a people accordingly. So it depends upon what kind of people you want. If someone wants to be only a read only, you can just give them an access to this particular areas. If someone wants to be an administrator, you can give access to the project collection administrators. So whatever the areas you wanted to give them an access, you can actually click and then you can give them an access. And this is regarding boards. So if I wanted to change any process, by default there are 4 processes available, which is basic, agile, scrum, and CMMI. So if I wanted to customize any new process, I can just click on this option, and then particularly I can upload or download the ones that I needed. So these are all the list of fields that is available for the particular process. So while we look into the board section, we'll tell you more about this. And this is about the agent pools. So we have seen it on our lessons, like what is agent pool. By default, a Microsoft hosted agent is available and our default agent is available. So when you click on the default agents, you would see like there are no agents. So when we want to download any new agents, you can click on new agent, and this tells you an option for Windows and Mac and Linux, like how do you download it and how do you install your own agent. So we will be having a separate lesson on agent installation. At that time we'll be seeing more about the agents. And this is a settings option where it is showing general settings and task restriction settings. And this is a deployment pool option. Again, during our CI/CD section, we will be seeing a lot about deployment pools as well. And this is a list of parallel jobs option. Parallel jobs are nothing but, as I said you, you can run multiple jobs at the same time. That is a parallel agents. And by free tier, only one parallel job is available. If you wanted to buy more, you can actually run it on your hosted agents. Okay, so this is a OAuth configuration, which is going to be your security level configurations that is available. So if you wanted to introduce OAuth configurations on your particular project, you can actually use this OAuth level organization settings. And this is going to be your storage. So if I wanted to have some options available on the storage, I can just click on this artifact storage level, and this tells you like what are all the list of GBs available, how many have I stored and how many have I used and everything. I can see it over here. So this is the general organization settings available on our Azure DevOps. Apart from these, there are other options available over here, which is going to be your marketplace. So if you go to this corner right, then it is again having a browse marketplace and manage extensions. So this manage extensions will be same as this page extensions. If you see, when I click on this manage extension, it again takes me to this extensions page over here, which tells you whether the agent is installed or requested. And when I click on this browse marketplace, it again takes me to the marketplace of the Visual Studio, where I can download and install the agents. Okay, and then this option is nothing but an help option, where you can see the status and report a bug. If you face anything, you can contact the Microsoft support, privacy policy and code of contact and everything. And this is an option where you can see the preview features. So what are all the preview features available? This is called as your toggling options. I can just make it as on or off. This is called as feature flagging. Okay, so I can just make it as on or off, and then I can choose for whom I want, for this entire organization or it's only for me as well. So this is going to be your feature flaggings or preview feature flaggings. I can just make it on and then I can close it, so that automatically I'll be getting the new themes. And this is my profile. So I can just click on this profile and then I can choose my image that I want. I can change my email ID, I can change my region, and I can change my timelines where I am part of, and I can just choose a notification sections. Okay, whichever I need to get notified, and I can change the themes accordingly. If you see it is a light theme, and I can just choose any custom themes, like for example this looks good, so see, I can just choose this one or I can just choose this one. Whichever is good, I can just choose that accordingly. Okay, and then I can just check the usages, like how many I have done it and what is the usage for me accordingly. And then this is where you can see your personal access token. So this personal access token is mainly used to link to other tools. Like for example, if I wanted to link this Azure DevOps to Jenkins, or if I wanted to link this Azure DevOps to Docker or Kubernetes, I need this personal access token. So how do you create a personal access token? You can go to this user section and click on profile, or I can directly click on this personal access token. I'll be taken to this page. Click on plus new token and then give a token name and how many days you want this token to be, and then what are all the access I need, work items, code and everything. And then when I click on that, my token will be generated. This is a public key, SSH public key. So if I wanted my code to be pushed from local to Azure DevOps, I can use it in HTTPS way, or I can use it in SSH way. So if it is going to be SSH way, then I need to copy the SSH private key of my local to this, SSH public key of my local machine to Azure DevOps. And I can just also use an alternative credentials to log in over here. Like if suppose I forgot my Azure DevOps account, I can actually use my Git repository account or whatever it is to log in over here. And this is going to be an authorization section. So I can link it to the OAuth applications, or I can even link it to areas where my Azure DevOps account is being linked. If you see, my Azure DevOps is being connected to App Center, my Azure DevOps is being connected to Demo Generator. So these two areas are the place where my Azure DevOps account is being linked to. So this is generally about your complete organization settings and complete settings about your Azure DevOps overview. So if you guys have any doubts or anything, please feel free to reach out. Until then, thank you. So in this lesson, we'll be seeing on project settings. So in our previous lab, we have seen completely about organization settings and the menu options that is available for an entire organization perspective. So now let us drill down into a project and we'll be seeing more about project settings. So just go into any of your projects, okay, and in the bottom you will see this option called as project settings. Click on that project settings, and if you remember, it will be similar to your organization settings as well, but whatever changes that you're doing it in an organization settings will be applicable to all the projects, but whatever changes that you're doing it on your project settings will be applicable only for this particular projects. That's the difference. Okay, so again I have an option to actually choose to change my project name and description, and I can choose a visibility from private to public. Whatever I wanted to do, I can just do it accordingly. And I have team members where you can see by default this project name is DevOps Demo 1, so DevOps Demo 1 team will be available. If I wanted to create any new team, I can just create it as DevOps team. Okay, and I can just add a member. So at present it's only me, so I'm just adding it, and I can just give a description as DevOps team. Okay, and I'm the administrator of it, and I'm just giving a permission as contributors. Fine, I can just create it. So now if you see, DevOps team is created and DevOps demo team 1, which is going to be a default project 1 team, is created. So whatever the name I wanted to give, I can just give it, and what are the people I wanted to do, I can do it, and I can make this as a default team as well if I wanted. The next is permissions. Again, we have seen the default permissions available. One is build administrators, who can actually create, modify and delete the build definitions. Next is contributors, who can just able to add, modify and delete the items within this team project, and project administrators, who can do everything on this project, and project valid users, who will be having valid access to this projects, and readers will be only the read-only access. DevOps team, the one that we created, and DevOps team 1 demo, which is going to be the default project name containing team. Okay, so if I wanted to add someone on the project administrators, I can just go inside and then go to the members section, and I can click on add. So depending on whatever the groups that you wanted to have people to add, you can just go over here and click on members and add. And if you wanted to see the list of users, click on this users over here, you will see the list of users available. Again, the next will be notification. So this will be the notification that is available for each and every project available. So whether whatever the name of whatever the build, whatever the code pushed or pipeline, anything, I can just ask them to be notifying to this particular teams. Okay, and if I wanted to add anything new, I can click on this new subscription, and I can add whatever the things that I wanted. Like for example, after every release is completed or every deployment is completed, I need to be notified. So whether for any specific team project or if I wanted for any projects, I can just click on this, and then I can just tell them like notify any particular individual or notify to a particular group as well. So whatever the name I wanted, I can just give it over here, and then automatically I'll be notified it to the particular people. Next is service hooks. Okay, so this is actually a separate topic, service hooks and service connections. We will be seeing it as a separate topic, but here I'll just give you what is a service hooks. Service hooks is nothing but it is an area which you can integrate with your favorite services. Okay, for example, if I wanted to get integrated from Azure DevOps to Jenkins, or if I wanted to get integrated from Azure DevOps to Docker, or Azure DevOps to Slack, Azure DevOps to Teams, whatever it is, I can just use this service hooks option. Okay, so I will be covering a separate topic on service hooks and this service connection across. The next is dashboards. Dashboards are the areas where you can actually ask the team members to create and modify and other things over here. So let me first try to delete the team because it says I do not have a required permission. So I'm just trying to delete the team that I am created. Okay, and DevOps team has my name and everything. Okay, good. And then I'm just adding myself to the project administrators. Okay, I'm added to the project administrators, and now when I'll just find out like why I'm not having a permission. I think I have been added somewhere as a contributor. That's the reason. Okay, and dashboards are the place where you can actually create and edit and delete the dashboards. Whatever I wanted to do, I can just make it enable or disable for it. Okay, the next is under boards. So these are all under general settings. The next is under boards. So under boards, whatever I want to do, I can just do it. I can just create a new child, or I can just create a new areas across. I can just add a multiple sprints, whatever I want to do, I can just do it. And then I can just change the team configurations, like starting of the week can be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or I can just make starting of the week as Sunday. So I can just add whatever the things I wanted to get it added. And I can even get it connected to the GitHub accounts to the board. So I can just connect my GitHub account to this Azure DevOps, so that whatever the task that is created on the GitHub will be automatically shown over here as well. And next is repositories. Clicking on repositories, you will see the list of repositories that has been available on our project. I can just go to the settings and see what is that. I can go to the policies and I can see, we have already seen in our lab like what is policies across the branching policies and the pull request policies and everything that we have seen. And I can see the permissions for this particular repositories. So if I wanted to delete any repositories, I can just click on this triple dot over here, and then I can just click on delete, or I can rename a project. So I can just click on delete, and then I just need to give the name of the repository, and then when I click on delete, the project will be deleted. That's how you can add your repository, or you can delete your repository over here. The next is pipelines, and this is again a separate topic on the whole. We'll be covering how to create a pipeline, how do you create an agent, how do you create your agent pools and everything over here. So this is the same thing that we have seen in an organization, where you can add your agent pool of your choice, and then you can go inside, and then you just need to click on the new agent, and then you need to download the agent according to your particular OS, and then you just need to follow these commands and get the agent installed. So we'll be having a separate topic on how to do an agent installation, how to create an agent pools and everything. This is again the parallel jobs, which is same as your organization settings. So by default it has one parallel job available for free tier, but when you have your self-hosted agent, you can have multiple parallel jobs running together. Okay, and this is again settings. Under settings, you can see how many days I can keep my artifacts available, how many days do I need to keep it run, and how many recent pipelines do I need to retain. So all these areas is called as your retention and backup policy. So all those things will be available over here. And this is on the test management. If I wanted to have any system detection, if I wanted to use test lines for a particular pipelines, all these options can be available on this test management area. If I don't need, I can just make it as off. Okay. The next is release retention. So again, this is going to be your retention policy for release. So how many days do I need to keep a release, and what is the number of days I need to keep it? What is the retention policy I wanted to have permanently? How many days I can destroy my release? So all those changes I can do it on my release settings. This is the important topic, which is service connection. And as I was telling you about service hooks and service connection, we will have a separate lab. But this service connection is nothing but it helps to create a connection for all the other areas. So like for example, I can connect from Azure, I can connect to Bitbucket, Chef, Docker, GitHub, Jenkins, Jira. So whatever the areas I wanted to get it connected, I can just click on this, and then I can click on next. I need to give the URL, and then I just need to give a username and password and verify, and then give a connection name, and boom, Azure DevOps and the other third-party tool will be connected automatically. So we'll also see this as part of our separate lab. And this is XAML build services. So this is not that much of useful, but again, if you wanted any of your XAML to be connected, you can just add your Azure subscription over here, so that this XML will be automatically connected to your Azure subscription. And this is on the test retention side. So if I wanted to click on, or if I wanted to keep any test cases or other things, I can use this option to do the backup and retention for my particular test. And on the overview section, one important thing is like you will see all these Azure DevOps services available, like boards, repos, pipelines, test plans, and artifacts. So if you think like you don't need a test plans, you can just remove that. And then when you refresh this page, by default, if you see test plans are available. So when I turn off this feature, I can just refresh it and I see the test plans is not available. And when you want it back on, click on this on button and then do a refresh, and you will see the test plans coming on. So this is going to be your toggling features. So this is called as feature flagging. So when you want certain features, you can make it on. When you want certain features, you can make it off. So this is called as your feature flaggings. So on the whole, this is going to be your project settings overview, and whatever the changes that you're doing it on a project settings will be applicable only for this projects. Whatever the changes that you're doing it on an organization settings will be available for the entire projects. So if you guys have any doubts or anything, please feel free to reach out. So in this lab, we'll be seeing how do you actually create an agent pool and how do you install a self-hosted agent on your particular machine. So just go to this organization settings, okay, and then we can go to this agent pools, and by default you see a default agent pool and Azure pipelines. So if I wanted to create a new agent pool for myself, I can click on add pool and I can say self-hosted, okay, and I can just give us a agent pool name, and I'm saying grant permissions to all the pipelines. Okay, I'm just clicking on create, and this is going to be my own agent pool. And here at present, if you see, there are no jobs, there are no agents, nothing, no details, because we haven't installed any agents. So now click on this agent and then click on new agent. It tells you a screen like in which OS it automatically detects. So if you are in Windows, go ahead and download the Windows agent and use a PowerShell to install it. If you are on Mac, try to download it. If you're on Linux, try to download this. Since I am in Mac, I'm trying to download this agent. Now if you see, the agent is getting downloaded, and now what happens once the agent is being downloaded, then I just need to go to my terminal, and then I just might need to run these commands accordingly. Okay, so my agent is getting downloaded. Just give another 8 seconds. Okay, good. So my agent is downloaded now. So now what I'm doing, I'm just opening a terminal. Okay, I'm just zooming your terminal for your view, and now I'm just going to the downloads. Okay, and here when I see, I can see this agent is being there. The downloaded agent is there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just trying to copy these commands. So I'm just copying and pasting it. So it says make directory my agent and cd into my directory. So now if you see, I'm into my agent directory. The next it says to unzip this. So I'm trying to run the same command. It is trying to unzip the agent. Okay, so now if you see, the agent is being unzipped. Now next step, I just need to run the config command. So I'm just clicking on /config.sh. Now it says, let me make it big. Okay, it is trying to open your Azure Pipelines agent, and it says, do you want to accept the condition? So I'm just typing why I'm accepting the conditions. Now it says enter the server URL. The server URL is nothing but this one, till your organization. So I'm just copying it and then I'm pasting it. This is going to be my server URL. And what is authentication type? I'm just using PAT, which is personal access token, and enter the personal access token. So how do you generate a personal access token? Click on this, and then here there is an option called personal access token, and I'm just clicking on new token, and I'm saying agent installation on my Mac, and this is my organization, and I'm just keeping an expiry days as 90 days. Okay, and I'm just giving it as full access, and then clicking on create, and this is my personal access token. I'm just copying it and I'm going over here and then I'm pasting it. Now it tries to authorize it, so it is trying to connect to the server, and it says okay, connecting to the server is done. Now it is saying enter an agent pool. So what is the agent pool that we have created? Now go back to the screen, and you can see the agent pool name. This is going to be my agent pool name. So I'm just copying this and I'm pasting it over here. Now it says what is the agent name? So I'm just giving the same agent name. So Visubu demo is going to be my agent name. Now it is trying to scan the tool capabilities. It is trying to connect to the server, and then it says successfully agent is added. Now testing the agent connection. And what is going to be the work folder name? I'm just keeping it as by default. So I'm just pressing it as enter. Now it says settings are saved. Now when I come to this, you can see the agent is created as Subu demo and it is offline now. Okay, and how do you make it as online? That's how you just need to have another command called run.sh. So last time you have configured it, now this time you need to use run.sh. So I'm just typing /run.sh. Now what it says, it is trying to make that offline agent into an online agent. So it says now connecting to the server, and then it is trying to listening for the jobs. See here. So this is how you just need to download your new agent and create a agent pools, and then you just need to download and then install and agent, self-hosted agents. Now when I wanted to run any jobs, I can just go to this demo, and then I can go to this pipelines, and then I'm just trying to create a new pipeline, and I'm just using a classic editor, and then I'm just choosing this repositories as demo. Fine, okay, just clicking on continue, and then I'm just choosing an empty job for time purpose. And then here on this agent pools, you can see the new agent pool that has been created. So that is going to be your Subo demo pool. Okay, and then I just need to inherit and then save and queue it. So here you can see the agent pool under your name. So now when you save and run it, what happens, this is going to run on your, so at present I don't have any repositories, but when you run it, this will try to download the files on your particular machine. Let me try to connect it to a GitHub, and then I'll try to show you guys. So now let me try to connect to the GitHub, and I'm trying to, okay, let me try to download this IGA. Okay, I'm just clicking on this, and then I'm trying to, if you see here, I've just chosen my agent pool as my mission. Okay, so now what happens, it is trying to connect to my pool name, which is my mission, and then it is trying to check out the files. Now the checkout files are all getting it done, and then I can see the files has been checked out on my local machine. But when you're using a hosted agent, you will not be able to log into that hosted agent machine if you wanted to troubleshoot it. But here, if you see, it is trying to initialize it on my particular work directory. So I can just copy this path, and I can go to the terminal. I can create a new tab out of it, and here I'm just trying to zoom in. Okay, so now I'm just giving CD and this path, so pwd, and I'm actually inside that agent path, and here I can see the files are being checked out, and this is going to be my under 1. So I'm just going to 1, and here you can see the files are being checked out. Okay, so again I'm going into S. I'm seeing the files are still being checked out. Okay, so this is how you can easily troubleshoot it if you are installing agents on your particular machine. Now you can even go to this particular organization, and you can go to this agents, and inside the agent you can see actually what is a job running. If you see job number 32 is running on this agent, and if I wanted to know the details of the agent, I can click on the details, and it actually tells you what is the details of it and who can use this. I can give a security out of it, and who are all the people that can access this agent, and what is the settings out of it. If there is a maintenance that I need to do, I can click on maintenance job, and then I can say how long do I need to keep this job running and how much time I need to keep this. I can auto delete all the things that I wanted to do, and I can see the maintenance history as well. Okay, so this is how I'm trying to access it. Now the job is successful, you can see it over here. And now when I go to my local machine, and then I can type this, I can see the files are being checked out on my local machine. So I hope you guys understood what is an agent pool, and how do you install a new agent, and then how do you change the configuration of the pipeline, and then how do you log into the local agent and check the details out of it. So try this, and then let me guys know if you face any issues. Until then,